What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming here with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods, great YouTube woods, where we got the Darius Garland smash that we were looking for. Obviously, no Donovan Mitchell, huge booster, but when you look at the injury report, he doesn't go through shoot around in the morning, ended up on some alternates, ended up on ladders there. Hopefully, Kyrie can do the same thing here in the evening, but felt really good to lock in some great value for you with that lock. Darius Garland out to 13-4 going into the Kyrie lock here. So we'll see if he can get over 22.5 points for the people. It's off to a slow start here. I definitely saw that. But anyway, we got BetMGM first. Odd Chopper, fire this up, my friends. $14.95 weekly, $49.95 monthly for the OS premium tools. Multiple sports, not just MLB, not just NBA, but everything. UFC bets will pop from time to time. We have NHL bets popping all the time. Great opportunity to check out those tools. It's a market-based approach. You're utilizing the best lines at the best book at every single one of your states. Great opportunity for you, $14.95 weekly. And if you use promo code Lindy, bang, Mike Breeden, bang, 20% off. Lindy, expert picks, Discord. Yes, my premium betting card. MLB's where I've been firing up just about everything here. And then been throwing in the NBA bets here as well. Been having some really, really nice times. Obviously, Greg Ehrenberg smashing with some of those alternate lines. Check them all out on the side of your screen. With that said, let's get to the two games. I'm pretty terrified about one, but I've got a lock in both. Wouldn't you know it? We're going to talk a lot of points props again. It's been profitable. 13-4 on the locks now in the play-in tournament and playoffs. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And again, it could be 13-5 if Kyrie doesn't get his shit together. So with that said, friends, let's get to the picks. Game number one. Well, it's actually technically game number 5. So Indy taking on the Knicks, and I'm very terrified of this one. I'm not going to waste your time and just talk you through all the ins and outs of what I think teams should be doing or what I think they're potentially going to try. I don't know what the Knicks can actually try other than just play their dudes that they want to play, that Tibbs wants to play a billion minutes and try to up the variance and get very, very lucky. Again, they are favored in games. Well, they're favored here. It's strange to me. I think a lot of people are going to end up on that Indy side. But Madison Square Garden, don't forget, Jalen Brunson shows up here. He puts on the cape, does the whole thing. I'm having a tough time pulling the trigger. And the main reason why is, yes, no OG Anunoby is a gigantic deal. We've now seen that. But Pacers just ran amok back-to-back games there. They knocked everything down. Tyrese Halliburton looks a lot better. I think that's the main thing I'm worried about. But I do think Madison Square Garden is going to try to carry New York here. And Jalen Brunson's played much better here at home in this series, very, very obviously. So he's been dinged up. I'm not sure what to make of it, but have a very small play on that one. But let's get to the lean here right out the get-go. Again, I don't really want to waste your time. I think the Indy money line is something that you should actually entertain at plus 120. If you think that the Knicks are just broken and that now back-to-back losses, same way that my Timberwolves just get annihilated at their own home. I mean, this is 4 straight home team wins. That's 4 straight road team wins. Kind of ironic that they're both playing basketball against each other here not against each other, both playing game 5s here today. But the Indy money line, they looked awesome last time out. Shout out to TJ McConnell. I didn't know he could be that dude. I'm sorry, I wasn't really familiar with your game. I don't know, he had a triple-double one time, and Joel Embiid lost his mind when he played in Philly. But it is what it is, friends. Indy money line, if you just want to ride that narrative, enjoy. But it's a really thin play, I think. It's kind of what I'm freaked out about with the next one. And I think I'm more inclined to pull the trigger on Denver -4 than I am on this, and we'll talk about why. Anywho, the points props are just jumping off the page to me yet again here. And you want to be early. Again, the Garland thing shot through the moon. I don't think there's anything that could potentially really change here. Jalen Brunson should be playing basketball no matter what. And, with Mitchell Robinson out there too, this is just a really thin team. No Bojan Bogdanovic. Alec Burks having to play more minutes, partially because it was blowout run, and that is what it is. But Jalen Brunson's going to play like every human minute he possibly can in the Garden. Garden's going to be going berserk. And now we're seeing a guy who people were happy to be betting at 36.5, 38.5 points. One time 36.5 myself. We got the W there. He's at 31.5 points at open. Click. Small play. Have to like it. Feels really wonky, but it is what it is. The best play, though, from this one, it's a guy that I think plays actually a lot more than Alec Burks will, pending just something absolutely insane happening. But I look at Miles McBride, 32 minutes, played a lot of the blowout run, 29 minutes, 20 minutes. There's no option but to play him 28 plus minutes more than likely. You don't really want Alec Burks out there for a majority minutes. They can go small and try to make Precious Achiuwa work. He's really been a problem in this starting lineup, not really fitting in the complexion of this series. Could see some small ball where they go hard at the 4, potentially. He's only 6'4". He's one of the better rebounding guards. It's more of just a size thing and dealing with Siakam and Turner on the floor at the same time that makes it difficult to really say that that's going to happen. But I am very much backing the Miles McBride over 9.5 points. Don't know how you get away from this play. It is too good. He is out there to score. He is going to have more usage than he had during the regular season. So it's not even something you can really factor in there. I have to, friends, be backing the 9.5 points. And the Knicks, Custer's last stand or something. Also, how are the Knicks going to be favored in games 5 and 7, but Indy's favored for the series? I don't understand this at all. I'm staying away from this. I'm just terrified. Not terrified, though, at BetMGM. Great opportunity. First bet safety net up to $1,500. What does it all mean, Basil? Well, if you head to the video description box below, you sign up for BetMGM, you get yourself an opportunity to fire any bet you want. Any bet you want. And that first bet you make, whether it's $25, $50, $100, gets refunded back to you in bonus bets up to $1,500. Yes, if you lose that bet, you get it back in bonus bets. Great opportunity, friends, to take a big swing. And if it misses, well, you get to swing again. And that's a great opportunity, friends. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks we go, to the game. I'm just nothing to say. Just kidding. I have lots to say, but it hurts my feelings. Minnesota just gets dunk tanked by Nikola Jokic and company. Aaron Gordon pitches a no-hitter base, almost like a perfect game. Offensively, defensively, so many problems, inept basketball. Very similar, though, to what I just got done talking about in that Minnesota spot. We could play better. We can definitely play better. The Knicks could have played better, too, but I'm just saying. Denver Nuggets are the defending champs for a reason. They are back to being even money to win the Western Conference, as they should be. You've got Dallas looking like they're going to come into strong control of this series based early on, 30-20 here at the end of the first quarter. Again, it's early. Don't want to pull the trigger too quick. But as I look at the game here, I think Denver -4, pretty straightforward. If you're going to lean towards anything and you absolutely need to have a spread bet, I actually prefer this to the Indy +2.5, and here's why. Jokic could not have played worse in that game 2. Everybody played pretty poorly in that game 2. The game 1 was pretty competitive all the way through. Denver's been making all of the adjustments, though. And as things go on in a series, you have to be able to make adjustments and figure out what's going wrong. And it was all these high-low pick-and-roll, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon on the wing, and then the Christian Brown piece coming in, playing awesome defense instead of Michael Porter Jr. And actually, Michael Porter Jr., some of the numbers adjusted to a place where I wasn't even able to short them. And I was very much looking forward to that. Very much looking forward to that. But here's the other adjustment that I think ends up happening. Minnesota quits being incompetent shooting the basketball when they are wide open with certain pieces. Now, they did shoot 39.3% from 3, 47.6% from the line in game 4. Nothing apocalyptic. Just that you let Denver shoot 57% from the field and 45% from 3. So problematic. Both teams, I think, are going to be pretty efficient. Anthony Edwards is him. Those are good things. I have a small play on the over of 205.5. Had a small play on the over last time around as well. Don't see that changing for me here. I know that they shot the ball pretty darn well on both sides. Only got to 222 it was. But again, it's a one-game sample size. And again, you just run this multiple times. You got to beat the VIG. You got to beat the 10 cents on either side of it. And, well, I've got this closer to 209. So over 205.5 just makes the cut. It's a like. So I wanted to give the people who aren't always firing up the props that you're looking for something else here. Nice to be able to bring you the over 205.5 and have it actually grade out well. But my favorite play of the day is a very uncomfortable one. And that's okay because, I'm happy to delve into Miles McBride lock. That's a thing that exists here on the card. That one is a little bit smaller play than what this is, but I'm very confident that all things being equal, Jaden McDaniels has to be on the floor nonstop to deal with Jamal Murray here. We're talking about one of the best wing defenders. We have so much length on Minnesota, and he's kind of the featured piece of it. Now, he averaged just 29.2 minutes per game during the regular season, and it's weird to cite the regular season. Denver defensively, Denver in terms of pace, not going to be something that's up to snuff there, but you got to realize what these minutes have been like for Jaden McDaniels. He just has not gone out and shot the lights out of it at any point. The usage hasn't necessarily been there. 4 for 8 from the last game. 4 for 6 actually in that game 3 mowdown that we ended up receiving. But 39 and 38 minutes in the 2 competitive games. In the 2 non-competitives, just 26 and 22. But again, everybody got ripped off the floor in those ridiculous game scripts. And so I see 39 and 38 in your 2 competitive games with a 4-point spread here. A guy that in 29 minutes per game, 29 and a half actually, he averaged 10 and a half points per game. I understand that Ant and Cat and Nas, and these guys are going to have more usage. I understand that it's not necessarily his job to go out and score, but there's 8.5 as his opening number. How do you not love that? I have him closer to 11.5. I don't see how you get away from this play, even adjusting for the pace and everything else. He's going to play 10 more minutes in competitive spots. You got to still look at these outlier type game scripts. And, well, yeah, sure, 6 or 7 or foul trouble like we saw up against Jamal Murray there in that game 3. There are ways that it backfires, but it's a range of outcomes thing. And at the end of the day, Jaden McDaniels should not be at 8.5 points here, playing way too many minutes. It's actually eclipsed this line in the last 2 too, but I'm not a last 2 guy, so I'm not going to worry about that. Give me Jaden McDaniels over 8.5 for a lot. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know what you think about McBride and McDaniels. Go McDonald's. I'm going to go get that for dinner tomorrow to celebrate, right? Yes. Anyway. Darius Garland, thank you so much for your service to this program. We really appreciate you, even though your team's going to be going home now after they get mowed down in Game 5, more than likely. We'll talk about Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks there for Wednesday, but this was obviously Tuesday's episode. Hit that like button as we get out of here. Thank you, producer Jacob. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA playoff streets on Tuesday.